What up guys, Calvin here. Today we're gonna be looking at women says smoothest way they have been asked out. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, CalvinLee1995. Link will be in the description below. Also leave a comment down below if you ever ask a girl out or a girl asks a boy out. Okay, I wanna read all the comments. Yeah, let's get right in with the show. At one of my old labs, there was a job where you work with a partner who has to print numbers on these little plastic case for you to put samples in. You are doing it for hours, so it gets really boring, but you have also got to concentrate, cause if you mix up the numbers, then two patients could get each other's diagnosis and you could kill someone. The advantage of this job is that you can basically talk to the person you're working with for hours, because eventually you start doing the checking subconsciously, sort of like driving and talking to someone at the same time. Anyway, I've been getting close to this cute new guy for a few weeks, and we've been hanging out all day just shooting the breeze at work. Right at the end of the day, as he is handing me one of these cases, my self-consciousness alarm goes off telling me the number on the case is wrong. This happens pretty often, hence why we are so paranoid checking. So I pick it up to hand it back to him and ask him to reprint it. When I realize it's his phone number he's printed on the case, look up and see him smiling the most confident grin I ever seen in my life. The little freaker knew he had me then. Man, I will not reject that guy, okay? Hopefully you guys have a happy ending, get married and have kids, okay? So you can tell your kids like how you guys met, you know? He literally ran after me. We had a class together and started talking about 2 weeks before it ended. I thought he was cute as hell, but didn't think he felt the same way. He and his buddy lived the same way I did on the last day of class. They walked home with me but split paths after a few blocks. So I'm walking and kinda gushing to a friend via text about him, and I heard someone running and it's him. He tell me that he be a massive idiot unless he get my phone number because he think I am super cute. We've been together for 3 years. Good job, my man, good job. Run after your dreams, okay? If you didn't run after her, man, she would have been gone and you never have a girlfriend. I was bartending. A customer I had a few conversations with asked me what time my shift ended, and I told him 2 a.m. He leaned back and said, "Can I order a coffee? I am going to need it if I want to stay out until 2 a.m. Note, I don't want to be harsh, but bartenders are paid to be nice to you. Be 105% sure someone's into you before you pull move like this." Yeah, so you gotta have a lot of confidence to hit a bartender, okay? They are just paid to be nice, so it's very difficult to tell if they're into you or not. I snagged my wife of 8 years with, I have an AINT telescope. Want to come over, have some dinner and drinks, look at the stars? She immediately drove from Texas to NM. She was genuinely surprised I was actually talking about an AINT telescope. I have been disappointing her ever since. If a girl asks me on a date to go look at the stars using a telescope, I will not reject that, man. When I was living in Boston, there was a really cute guy who would play his guitar and sing in the station along the blue line. I always give him a few bucks because A, he was really cute, and B, he was really talented. He smiled and called me the girl with the yellow roses. I have tattoos of yellow roses on my back, and then I get on the train and be gone. I was, still am, actually in a long-term relationship, but I figured it was just harmless flirting. After about a month and a half of this, I walked into one of the stations. I could hear someone playing ukulele, and then I heard, "Hey girl with the yellow roses." So I looked around and saw him sitting on the bench with a bouquet of yellow roses, and he started playing "My Girl" by The Temptations on the ukulele. When he was done, I walked over and he asked me out for coffee. It was so freaking cute. I bet a little embarrassing because crowded situation, and if I had been single I would have said yes, but I didn't. He smiled and said, "Ah, that figures." Oh man, I bet it broke his heart. You know, he asked you out on a coffee on a crowded area so everybody saw it. But yeah, I get you, man. You are in a long-term relationship, you know, so you can't just say yes. In 8th grade, a guy friend of mine came to my door with a plastic watering can. He opened it with, "John told me that you have to make it memorable when you ask someone out, so I brought you a watering can." Super cute. I definitely will always remember. I said yes. We dated for 2 weeks and then both concluded we were better as friends, but it was still the best way I ever been asked out. A water can? That is very, very unique. I never heard of someone ask a person out with a water can, okay? One Saturday morning, there was a knock on my door. I opened it and there was a young guy my age with a construction vest on. He stared at me for a couple seconds and said, "Can I help you?" "Hello, we are doing some work on the pipes on this street." He was basically telling me I couldn't flush the toilet for a couple hours while they did the work. A couple hours later, they were done and gone. I had to run some errands, so I went to leave. Stuck in the door was a note asking me out. It was a sign, "The guy who told you not to flush." Maybe not the smoothest, but one of the cutest way I've been asked out. Wow, that is very, very cute. It's like a movie scene, okay? I wish they would go out together, you know. That would be like an amazing story, you know. The construction guy would tell the kids, "I met your mom because I told her not to flush the toilet." He came into my chocolate shop every day for a week on his break. He worked at the shop next to mine and we had fun random conversation about life. On Friday, he came in looking a bit disabled and I was genuinely concerned, asking if everything was okay. He looked at me with the most vulnerable eye and said, "Will you please let me take you on a date tonight?" It was so upfront and honest. He wasn't trying to conceal any emotion or hiding agendas. He gave massive point in my book for that one. It's better to just be honest and be straightforward and just ask the girl out on a date, and you might just find a girl that will stay with you forever. I was at a party with a friend of mine when this guy came over with a deck of cards. He insists on showing me my friend his party trick and proceeded to have her choose a card at random. She grabbed the card and kept its identity to herself and placed it back in the deck and shuffled it. He started laying down cards and ended with he reached 10. He looked at her and said, "Do you notice anything interesting about these cards I laid down?" She shook her head and he then looked her directly in the eye and says, "It is my number, call me." He then proceeded to give her an over-exaggerated wink, saw her some finger guns and disappeared into the crowd of the party. Whoa. That is pretty smooth with a magic trick. Oh, everybody love magic trick. I bet that guy found him a girlfriend. I met a guy when I was 16 at a convention. We happened to be in the same area and really hit it off talking about art and drawing. We started doodling each other while still chatting away and exchanged portraits when it came time to part ways. He signed his drawing of me with his phone number. For two nerds at a cosplay convention, that was pretty darn smooth. Putting his phone number inside the drawing, man, my God, you deserve a cookie for that. Walking through a crowded train station, my eye met with a man talking into his phone. Not looking away, he said, "Sorry, something come up." Snapped the phone shut. Remember phones did that? And walked straight over and said hi. Hands down, the smoothest thing ever. Wow, that guy must saw one of the prettiest girl ever, okay? He had to stop the phone call. He was like, "Okay, something's up." Pep. I bet it was a flip phone, you know, and then walk over and say hi. It actually takes a lot of courage to go over there and say hi to a pretty girl, okay? Dude asked me if I wanted to build a snowman after listening to me home Let It Go. I almost saved for him too. Edit, sometimes lady with hairy hair still get laid. I know it's weird, but some people actually respect your decisions. I was cashiering at an art and craft store. Two guys my age came in and were buying fabric, paint, and t-shirt. I recommended that they get the cardboard t-shirt insert to make painting on the shirt easier. Several hours later, one of them came back through my line and all he was buying was a rather expensive pen. I looked at him and said, "Just a pen?" He responded with, "Well, I was hoping I could use it to write down your number." Smooth as frick. Yeah, that is smooth. He bought an expensive pen to write down her number. I am a guy. A girl said to me while I was wearing a suit, "Hey, nice suit. It looked like it needed a tater dot. By the way, my name is Tater." At a party in college, on a roof of a boy jumped down from a higher portion right next to me and said, "You are the most beautiful girl at this party. can I have a cigarette? And we were together for 2 years. But I think the best part was in the middle of our first date. He said, can I just get this out of the way? And then bam, he kissed me. I found out later it was an Annie Hall reference, and he asked me out because he had a fetish for a certain type of nipple, and he could tell by looking at me I had that type. What a weird 2 years. Yeah, it is pretty weird. I had just met this guy at a friend's party and we instantly hit it off. I was telling him how I have a really bad relationship with coffee because it gave me the crap. At the end of the night, he said, I am facing a dilemma here because I really want to ask you out but you can't drink coffee and you are now old enough to get a beer. So like tea, would you like to go out for a tea? Relationships didn't last long, but granted it was the sweetest way I was asked out. Who doesn't like coffee? Do you like coffee? Leave a comment down below. Who doesn't like coffee? I love coffee. I was at a party with this really cute guy that I had been talking to for a bit. I didn't really know anyone there though, so I wanted to go home, and his friend was way too drunk, so he ended up giving us both a ride home. Anyway, he dropped me off first, which I was kind of bummed about because I was planning on making a move once his friends left, but I assumed he did it on purpose and wasn't into me. Like 10 minutes later, I get a call to come downstairs as I left something in his car and he wanted to give it back to me. I get downstairs and asked what it was, and he just put his hand on my face and pulled me for a kiss. He asked me out, but I basically melted at that point, and I think I just nodded and grinned like a fool. Definitely the smoothest thing a guy has done. Wait a minute, he just pulled you in on a kiss. You're not even dating yet and he pulled you in a kiss and you think it is smooth? Do you think this is pretty smooth, kissing a girl? Even though she is not even your girlfriend. At university, my guy friend saw that I was having a bad day in one of the morning classes. He came out and sat down next to me and said, you look like you could use a pick me up. How about I pick you up at 7? He escaped the friend zone that night and we ended up dating for a year. Not a girl, but proud of myself for this one. There's one time in university I had a crush on a girl. We were friends and the photograph was one of my hobbies. She asked to go on a photo excursion, so we walked around and took photos. I snapped a few of her doing some funny poses. I had the photos printed and gave the one of her to her, but on one particular one I wrote on the back that I thought she was cute and that she thought to let me take her on a date. We were friends for a couple months, and one day he invited me over to watch a movie and have some lunch. Right before I was about to go home, he says, wait, I have something for you. He come out of his room with a book I've been wanting to get but can't find it in any store, and he says, this book has a lot of chapters to it and I was hoping we could also start a new chapter together. Will you be my girlfriend? And that is the story of how I got my first boyfriend. Oh my god, that is pretty smooth. I love this one. This one is probably one of my favorite ones. When I met my husband, we were at a local bar. I was already friends with him on Facebook. He added me after we had talked on a mutual friend status, but we had never actually seen each other. I was terrified to approach him, so I kept hiding. Finally, after a few beers, I stuck out a conversation. We ended up dancing all night. After I said goodbye, he messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, you forgot to give me your number. I thought it was pretty smooth. We went out 2 days later and have been together ever since. I work at a custom-made printing plate company. You give us a digital file or make a plate you can run through a printing press. Normally, all I do is check out, scrutinize the artwork very carefully to make sure it make a good printing plate. We often have to tell customers that some art is too dedicated to appear on the plate correctly, and they fix it their files. A regular of ours, good customer that always come in to pick out his plate and will chit chat about life and whatnot, calls in early that there is an order coming and that he really needs accurate and ready by the end of the day. No biggie, and I mark his account so that I am assigned to handle review his next order. Days go by and I forget that I am assigned to it till it pops in last minute. I reviewed it over very microscopically and realized that the last chunk of artwork was a message that says, OP, can I take you out to dinner when I pick out my plate? In a font that clearly can't plate well, which means I had to call him to get the file fixed. By far the smoothest, sneakiest way I've been asked out. Yeah, that is a very interesting way to ask someone out. I saw this girl going through Tinder on her phone. I said I got a tip for your Tinder, and when she asked what it was, I said delete it and I go out with me. We went on a couple of dates. That is very, very brave. You saw someone on Tinder and then you just asked her to delete Tinder. and go out with you. I have bright blue eyes that apparently look great if I wear a blue. So out in a blue shirt, a girl came out and said, "Oh my god, your eyes are beautiful." Having just painted my room the same color blue as my shirt, I replied, "You should see how good they look in my room." I guess both of our pickup line worked even if mine was totally unintentional. While avoiding a drunk girl at a Halloween party who was stalking me, I ducked behind a group of girls and asked one if we could pretend to be my girlfriend so this other girl would leave me alone. Someone walked out and handcuffed us together with a fake handcuff and we started dating. Now we are married. Wow, that's a good ending right there. Since several comments are also mentioning successful pickup line we use on other people. A guy I've been friends with for a while was likely flirting because he'd been casually dating a guy another town over a few weeks. She was supposed to drive down to see him that weekend, but she decided she didn't really want to date him anymore and wanted an excuse not to make the trip while she decided how to break up with him. I said, "That's easy, just tell him you are going on a date with me instead." "Why would you do that?" "Because hopefully you were going on a date with me instead." Been 20 years as of last May. Wow, that is amazing, but I feel so bad for the other guy though, you know. Why is a pretty girl like you got to cry about? I was at a bar, got into a fight with my sister and she led me there. I was outside crying on the curb and he hit me with that. That night we slept together. When I woke up, we didn't know each other's name. 9 years later, we were husband and wife. Even today, when I cry about something, he would say, "Oh look, like I'm getting laid tonight." Alright guys, this is about the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Calvin1995. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, my name is Calvin and I'll see you guys in the next video.